Hi there, welcome back. I'm Kathy Barker from Software Solutions, and we're looking at how we can transform data using Power Query and Power BI Desktop. I now want to show you how we use the columns from example button. If you look at the add column tab in the ribbon, the far left button is column from example. We've looked at conditional columns, index columns, duplicate columns, and even custom columns. So now it's time to look at this. I first of all, to demonstrate this, want to take you to the query called Sales 2019 to 2021. And what I want to do is group or band my sales for 2021 into various groups. For example, I want to group them into groups of 500. So like this first sale of 1935 falls between 1500 and 2000. So let me show you. If we go to add column, column from example and from selection. Now that means I actually have to have this column selected beforehand. So I'm going to click this column first, then go back to column from examples and from selection. Now based on that selection, it now wants me in column 1 to type an example of what it is I'm after. This is not too dissimilar from flash fill in Excel. So what I'm after is putting the sales for 2021 into bands. This particular sale would fall between 1500 and 2000. So I'm literally going to type 1500-2000. Now, when I click OK or Control Enter, or even just Enter, it will work out what band each of the others fall into. So it's transforming, it's setting the ranges to 500, it's starting from 0, and basically it's putting also a dash between each, and it has grouped these sales, like this one here is between 500 and 1000, this one here is between a 0 and 500, and if that's what I want, I simply choose OK. So I've created a column simply by typing an example of what I'm after. Now, I want to do another one. For example, if I go to DIM employees, I can see the last name and the first name of each employee. And for whatever reason, I have the need for a column that shows me Davilo, maybe even in capitals, a comma or a space, and then Nancy. So I'll ask it to add a column from examples, and this time I'll just say from all columns, not from what I've got selected. It now brings up this column 1 again and waits for me to do what I need to do. So I'm going to type in capitals, DAV. It starts to anticipate what I want. So I could click that, but I'm going to keep typing because I want it in capitals, LIO, and then a comma and a space, and then I type Nancy, not in capitals, Nancy. So it's looking at Davilo, so you've got to spell it correctly, and Nancy. When I press enter, it thinks, oh, well, you want all the other last names in capitals with a comma, with a space, and then their first name with just the initial capital. And that's what it's saying up here, is basically we're combining in uppercase the last name, a comma, a space, and then the first name. If I go okay, I've created a column that literally has worked out what I want based on an example, and that's what column from examples mean. I'm actually going to rename this column, so I'm just going to click the column heading, press F2, call it full name, and if I go to the the transform tab, I can move it to the beginning, and then I can just put it to the right of, say, first name, and so I can clearly see the full names. Actually, I'll put it to the right of employee ID, pop it there. Next thing I want to do is just close and apply, home, close and apply, so it applies those changes to my Power BI desktop, and then save the file, and that is column by examples. Come back for the next video.